Good morning, students. Welcome to class 4 EVS. Children, we had almost completed the chapter 8, Our Clothes. Today we are going to revise the topics which we have already done, and then we'll do the leftover. Now children, we'll start the chapter. Children, we'll revise the topic which we have done yesterday. Why do we wear clothes? So children, tell me, why do we wear clothes? We wear clothes to cover our body and protect us from heat, dust, insect bites, rain and cold. So children, clothes make us comfortable. Clothes also makes us look smart, stylish and beautiful. Sometimes clothes also helps to describe the job of a person. So children, clothes are one of the basic needs without which we cannot live. We also need to cover some of our body parts, so it is important to wear the clothes. Other than this, children, we need to protect our body from heat, cold, insect bites, rain and dust. So children, clothes must be comfortable. They also make us look smart, stylish and beautiful. If we wear good clothes, proper clothes or smart clothes, we get confidence also. Children, this is the cloth which enhance our personality. So children, these clothes also help to describe the person's job. As we know, in some jobs we wear a kind of dress called uniform, which separates that group of people from the other and helps in identifying or distinguishing the people from other, and also let us know to which organization or institution the person belongs. So these are the clothes which helps us in many ways. Now children, our next topic was clothes and weather. So children, we studied we also wear different clothes in different season. As we know, there is different requirement in different reason. So according to the season, we wear different kinds of clothes. Firstly, we will discuss about summer season. Children, in summer season, as it is very hot, we sweat a lot. That is why in summer season we should wear light colored, loose fitting cotton clothes. These cotton clothes helps in absorbing the sweat and also helps in keeping the body cool. And loose fitting dress allows the movement of air through the body. In this way, we are able to keep our body cool. So children, in this way, it is very important to wear the clothes which are comfortable in that particular season. So here in summer season, we should wear loose fitting, light colored cotton clothes to keep us feel comfortable and cool. Now, next season which we studied yesterday was winter season. As we know children, in winter season it is cold outside or we feel cold. So in winter season we should wear cozy. So children, in winter season we should wear cozy thick woolen clothes, as these woolen clothes help in giving warmth in our body or keeping our body warm. So children, these clothes are made up of wool, fur, leather, flannel, etc. So children, these clothes should be thick and thick and woolen, so that it gives warmth to our body. Children, in winter season we wear cap, muffler, scarf, gloves, shawl, pullovers, woolen. Nowadays we get woolen dress material also, so we can wear dresses also, woolen dresses also, as well as coats, jackets, etc. Now children, next was rainy season. As we know, in rainy season we should wear raincoats as well as gumboots to protect ourselves from rain. These raincoats are made of waterproof material, and gumboots are made up of rubber. So these are not, that is why they don't get wet in the water and protect us from getting wet. So children, when we go out in rain, we should wear raincoats, gumboots, cap, and we have different types of raincoats. We can wear those, as well as we must carry umbrella to protect us from the rain. Now children, here are some pictures shown. These are the dresses which should be worn in winter season. Now in the next picture we have some dresses which should be worn in rainy season. These are raincoats, gumboots or jackets. Then here we have some clothes which should be worn in summer season. Now next is children, our next topic is materials for clothes. Children, yesterday we studied two types of fibers. These fibers are nothing but the raw material from which we make different types of cloth. Now children, these natural fibers, we get fibers in two forms. One is natural fiber and the other is synthetic fiber. Children, as we discussed yesterday, natural fibers are prepared, we get natural fibers from plants and animals. Plants, we get jute and cotton from plants, and wool from the sheep, mountain goat, camel or yak. These are the animals from where we get wool, and we get silk from silkworm. So children, these are the natural fibers. Now we have synthetic fiber. Synthetic fibers are also known as man-made fibers. These fibers these fibers are made by man either in the lab or laboratory using chemicals. So these chemicals can be crude oil. So children, here some examples of synthetic fiber are nylon or rayon, and also there are some more synthetic fiber like polyester or acrylic. So children, these are the fibers which we get artificially or we prepare it in the lab or laboratories. These are called man-made fibers. Now our next topic was how these fibers are changed to fabric. Children, as we studied yesterday, fiber is nothing but the raw material. For example, if you talk about cotton, we get cotton from the fruit like structure which comes in the cotton plant. This fruit bursts open into a snow white flour called cotton. This cotton, children, if you take a piece of cotton and rub it between your palm, what you will get? You will get the same round cotton turns into elongated structure, that is called fiber. This fiber is then formed into thin, long, continuous process of thread. This fine thread is called yarn. This fine thread is called yarn. This yarn is used to make fabric. So the process of converting fiber into yarn is called spinning. When this fiber is spun into yarn, the process is called spinning. So here we have the raw material. What is raw material, children? Raw material is nothing but it can be cotton. Children, raw material can be cotton, silk, wool, synthetic fiber. These can be formed into thread like structure called fiber. These fiber are spun into thin, fine thread like structure which is called yarn. When this fiber becomes very long, continuously very long, it is given a shape of ball, and this form of this thread is called yarn. And the process of converting fiber into yarn is called spinning. The process in which this fiber is produced from fiber to yarn is called spinning. So children, what is spinning? Whether it is a fiber of cotton, raw material of cotton, silk, wool or synthetic fiber, when it is converted into fine or twisted into fine thread, this thread is called yarn. When this fiber is twisted into fine thread, this thread is called yarn. So children, we can call it as thread or also we can call it as yarn. Now, this process of making yarn is called spinning. This process of making yarn is called spinning. Now children, earlier the spinning was done on charkha in India, but then later the spinning jenny was used. This is another kind of spinning wheel. Here we can see children, this one is charkha and this one is this is charkha and this one is spinning jenny. Now, this was the better form of charkha. This was the better form of charkha. Spinning jenny was the improved form of charkha. Now children, after this, these spinning were done through sophisticated machines, were done by sophisticated machines in the textile industries. Previously, all these things were done through, firstly, in the beginning it was done through charkha. Then there was another machine called spinning jenny which came after this machine. This was improved and there was multi-spinning blades were there. So many spinning blades were there. So this was the improved version of the charkha. And after this we used sophisticated machines in factory to do their work. Mahatma Gandhi encouraged the use in hand woven fabric khadi. So even Mahatma Gandhi used to spin the fiber into yarn on using the charkha, and he was the one who encouraged this hand spun yarn called khadi. He was the one who introduced to use the hand spun or hand woven fabric, that was khadi. Now children, so this is the process how it was done previously and then how it is done now. So children, spinning is the process in which raw cotton, silk, wool or synthetic fiber are twisted to make a fine thread like structure which is called yarn. It is called thread or yarn, and it is a continuous process of fiber. When it becomes very fine and long, it becomes yarn, and the whole process of conversion of fiber into yarn is called spinning. So here yarn, fiber into yarn is called spinning. So conversion of fiber into yarn is called spinning. Now, as I told you earlier, it was done through charkha, and then the improved version of charkha came, that is called spinning jenny. Nowadays it is done through sophisticated machines in factories. Now children, after this the next step is weaving. Weaving is the conversion of, this is second step. Weaving is the conversion of yarn or thread into the fabric. Now children, this can be done by through looms. What are looms? Looms are the machines which convert these thread into fabric. How they do? They do by the arrangement of thread in crisscross manner. So the thread is arranged in crisscross manner. In this way they weave a kind of cloth which is called fabric. This fabric is nothing but it is a piece of cloth. This piece of cloth is then used to make the cloth which we wear, which is used to make clothes which we wear. So children, we have already discussed all these in the form of picture in the previous slide or the session. So children, this is the whole process of converting yarn into fabric. Now children, these looms are also of two kinds. If the loom is run by man manually, means if the loom is operated by man, it is called hand loom, and if it is run by the machines, it is called power loom. Now children, these two kinds of, here in Varanasi we have weavers who weave Banarsi saris on the hand looms through hand looms. So in Banaras we can see, and these Banarsi saris are also exported all over the world. Now children, here in some other West Bengal and some other part of India also we have handlooms where the weavers weave these saris using two crisscross thread on the handloom. In this way they make different kinds of saris. Now children, now fabric is made on power or mechanized looms also. Fabrics are later dyed to get colorful materials. Now children, whatever we get after weaving is a colorless cloth material or the fabric which is then dyed into different colors. These are then sent for furnishing. After furnishing, it becomes more attractive and beautiful. Now we'll read about furnishing of the fabric. Now in furnishing of the fabric, this dyeing is the first process. The process by which a fabric is given color is called dyeing. The process by which a fabric is given a color is called dyeing. So this is the color in which a fabric is given a color. Now, dyeing is the process in which a fabric is given a color. So, first the cloth undergoes dyeing and the fabric is put into different vessels containing hot water with different color dyes mixed in them. Then the fabric is dyed and we have the colored fabric ready to use or print. Now children, there are different processes under which these cloths go in the process of dyeing. Firstly it is dyed and then it is put into hot water so that its color doesn't get off. So in order to make the color permanent, these after dyeing also they undergo several processes, and so that the color which is put on the cloth do not fade easily, they become permanent. Now children, then the fabric is dried and we have the colored fabric ready to use or print. Children, if you get same kind of cloth, colorless cloth, would you like to wear it? Would you like to have buy it for the dress material? No, you will get bored and you won't be fascinated towards it. So children, that is why these fabrics are colored into different shades, as well as they are then sent for printing also. After getting different shades, they are also printed in different designs. Now beautiful patterns are printed on the colored fabric. This is done in various ways. The final stage of the finishing step is when a special treatment is given to the fabric. This makes it waterproof or stops it from shining or wrinkling. As I told you children, after dyeing and after printing, there are several processes under which these clothes go so that the prints or the colors do not get easily removed. So to make the cloth durable, as well as to make the cloth very good and their color or the print does not go, it undergoes several steps, and in this makes the fabric smooth and give it a shine too. So children, to make it better, and these cloths undergo several processes. The fiber is now ready for fashioning into cloth. After these many processes, this cloth is now ready to get stitched and can be designed into different styles. So children, here once again we'll go through the topic. Now children, so children, once again see what is spinning. As we discussed in the chapter, spinning is nothing but the process by which we make yarn, fiber is made into yarn. Spinning is the process by which yarn forms, process of making yarn from fibers, or fiber is made into yarn. So the process of making fiber into yarn is called spinning, or process of making yarn from fiber is called spinning. Now the next step is the process of making yarn from fiber. So children, here in the first picture we can see these are small thread like structure. These are called fibers. These small thread like structures are called fiber. Now it becomes fine elongated long thread like structure is called yarn, and this yarn is converted into fabric. This yarn is converted into fabric. So these are nothing but the whole process is called spinning. This whole process of conversion from fibers to fabric is called spinning. Process of making yarn from fibers is called spinning. Now here children, from these are the machines which are used to convert these into fabric. Now this is charkha. which was used by Gandhiji to spin the yarn. Now children, this is looms. These are the looms which are used to make the fabric, or which are used for weaving the fiber or yarn. These looms are and weaving of fabric. This is the way how patterns are made. This is the way how patterns are made, and this loom, these fabrics are weaved. Now the other process of, here we have two types of looms. One is hand loom. Here the person is using, it is done by man, and here it is machine. These are called power looms. These are called power looms. So we have two types of loom. One is power loom and the other is hand loom. Now, making of fabric from yarn. These looms are used to make fabric from the yarn. Now children, once again we'll revise. This is fibers. This is called fiber. Fiber is a long, thin threads are called. Long, thin threads are called. This is fiber. Now, this fiber is converted into yarn. This is nothing but the long fiber. Is called yarn. Now, this is fabric. From the yarn, we get yarn into fabric. Yarn is converted into fabric. Now, we have this fabric is nothing but the cloth used for making clothes. Piece of cloth used for making cloth. This is fabric. This is fabric. This is used to make clothes. So fabric is nothing but pieces of cloth used for making clothes. This is fabric. It is used to make clothes. Now, next one is yarn, fabric, clothes. Yarn, this is yarn, fabric. Yarn is weaved or woven into fabrics, and these stitched into cloth. Stitched into cloth. So yarn is woven into fabrics and fabrics are stitched into cloth. Now here, this is raw material. This is children raw material. This is raw material. This is yarn. This is spun into yarn. This is weaved into fabric, and this is stitched into cloths. So raw material, fiber is nothing but raw material spun into yarn, weaved into fabrics. So this is, then we get cloth. The whole process of getting cloth is fibers are converted into, spun into yarn. This process is called, from here to here is called spinning, and from here to here it is called weaving. From weaving we get fabrics, and after this, after furnishing we get cloth. Different colors of cloths: orange, green, sea green and peach color. So these are the furnished cloths which we get after these processes. This is the whole process of obtaining cloth. So children, how to take care of clothes. Now the clothes are ready after furnishing. They are dyed, they are printed and gone through various processes so that their print and color is retained. They do not fade easily, and also to bring shining and luster to the cloth, or also give glossy appearance to the cloth. So these cloths undergo various process for becoming shining, glossy and lustrous, and also to retain its color as well as print for long time. Now after this, these clothes which we get now has to be taken care of. How can we take care of these clothes? We can take care of these clothes by, we must take care of our clothes or they will get damaged or torn. If you don't take care of these clothes, they will get damaged or torn. Children, cotton and silk needs lot of maintenance, whereas synthetic clothes which are obtained artificially, so these clothes doesn't need lot of maintenance and they also are washed easily, whereas silk clothes we can't wash at home, and cotton clothes needs maintenance and it is very a bit difficult to wash it. And these nylon and other synthetic clothes are very easy to maintain, and also they are cleaned easily. Now next one is, we must wash our clothes regularly in clean water using soap and detergent powder. The clothes must be rinsed well so that the detergent or the soap is not left in them. Children, as we wear these clothes and our body sweats a lot. Okay, so when we sweat, and also these clothes also catches dust and dirt when we wear it and go out. So in order to remove the germs produced by the sweat of our body as well as the dirt and dust which comes across which is when we come across these things, they enters the cloth, should be cleaned properly. And that is why in order to remove these things, the cloth should be washed properly in the detergent or with soap, and should be rinsed properly. If the soap and detergents are not properly removed from the cloth, it may affect our skin or it may produce allergies or on the skin. So the detergent and soaps should also be removed from the cloth by washing it properly in water and rinsing it 2-3 times. So it is very important to clean the clothes properly by using detergent or the soap. Children, we can dip washed white clothes in indigo powder, that is also called Neil, before dyeing to maintain their whiteness. Children, when we wash white clothes needs lot of maintenance, as if you don't wash it properly, it becomes pale, off white or pale color. So this white color, in order to retain its whiteness and also to give shine to the whiteness, we have to rinse it after washing these white clothes. We have to once again dip it into the indigo powder or liquid which is dissolved in water, in that water, so that it retains its shine and also it retains its whiteness. So children, the white clothes should be dipped into the indigo water after washing to retain or maintain its whiteness as well as to maintain its shine. Silk and woolen clothes are delicate and expensive and they need lot of care. They should either be washed in mild detergent or dry cleaned. Mostly we don't clean silk clothes at home, we give it for dry clean, but woolen clothes can be used washed at home in the mild detergent, such as some of the companies like Easy वगैरह. By using Easy we can wash these clothes. After the clothes are dry, we must iron them. Unironed and crumpled clothes make a person look very untidy and unkept. So children, if you wear crushed or untidy clothes, your appearance will look untidy and unkempt. So we should not wear clothes without ironing the cloth which we wear. As I told you, the clothes which we wear enhances our personality and it makes us smart and look stylish. So in order to look stylish and smart, we should always wear clothes by ironing it, and also we should wear neat and clean and ironed clothes. Now children, once again we'll revise. Care of our clothes. We must take care of our clothes or they will get damaged or torn. So children, if you don't use the clothes carefully, it may get damaged or torn easily or very early. We must wash our clothes regularly in clean water. Use soap and detergent powder. The clothes must be rinsed well so that the detergent or soap is not left in them. So children, as we know, the cloth which we wear may have germs because of the sweat from our body, as well as may have dirt and dust. So in order to remove these and make them germ free and dust free, it should be cleaned with soap water or detergent, and it should be rinsed properly so that the soap or detergent doesn't remain in the clothes. If we wear the cloth which is not rinsed properly, it may cause allergies on our skin. Now we should dip the white cloth should be dipped in indigo water, the powder mixed in water, so that its whiteness as well as shyness retained. As we know, silk and woolen clothes are delicate. They should be either washed, given for a dry wash, or should be washed in mild detergent. After the clothes are dry, we must iron them because it gives a untidy. If you don't iron it, it gives untidy appearance and it doesn't look decent. Now children, storage is another important process by which we can maintain the cloth. Children, you must have seen your mothers keeping the woolen clothes after winter season by taking certain steps. For example, sometimes they use naphthalene balls for keeping them into trunk, or sometimes they also use neem leaves for keeping these cloths, so that the insects or mites doesn't attack these clothes or doesn't harm these clothes. As we know, these clothes are very expensive. We cannot afford to buy every time, so it needs care and should be stored carefully. So care should be taken while storing the clothes. They should be kept in safe, clean and dry space like a trunk or cupboard. These places should be safe from rats and insects. Rats or insects may damage the clothes. Insects and mites mostly attack woolen and silk clothes. So to keep them safe, dried neem leaves, boric acid powder or naphthalene balls. Boric acid powder or naphthalene balls are used. These are kept inside the clothes when they are stored. So children, these are certain steps which can be taken to keep these clothes safely and protected, so that we can use these clothes again in the next season. So children, This is all about the chapter. We will be revising it once again tomorrow, and then we'll do keywords and things to remember. Thank you, children.